Okay, let's get real here. Al-Qaeda? I don't think so. Government? Why? I live about 6 miles from the crash site in Clarence Center. I'm also an exempt volunteer firefighter from the Village of Akron Fire Company. And I have seen the videos, and I've also read some very stupid comments. The conspiracy theorists claiming that because Beverly Eckert was on board and she was coming here to speak at a ceremony to inaugurate the scholarship fund in memory of her husband Sean Rooney that died in the terror attacks on 9/11. First of all, I think the government would have bigger fish to fry than just one woman who was obviously very much affected by the events of 9/11. I don't see her coming to Buffalo to go to a celebration and a ceremony to kick off a scholarship fund in her husband's memory as a reason to take her and 49 other people out. That just doesn't even come close to a possible scenario. So for all you government conspiracy theorists, you're grasping at straws and you're basically making yourself look pretty damn foolish in a lot of people's eyes. So why don't you put your paranoia of the government, and put them to bed and move on, because there's no government conspiracy here. Okay, then I'm seeing some comments from people who are convinced that Al-Qaeda or whatever terrorist organization that may be out there today decided that a single family dwelling in the middle of suburban western New York would be a viable target somehow. Well, let's see. Seeing that they killed over 3,000 people in one morning in 2001, I really don't see them going through a lot of effort to take out 50 people on a very small aircraft compared to the aircraft that were used in the terror attacks of that horrible Tuesday morning of 2001. I'm just not thinking that Osama bin Laden is sitting in a cave in Pakistan saying, we got to take out a house in Clarence Center to really make those people take notice that, we hate America. So all you people that are considering Al-Qaeda or whatever terrorist group you want to give credence to, that's just the kind of fear-mongering and stupidity that keeps people just afraid to do anything. And if you want to breed that kind of fear, more power to you. But people with a single brain cell, which is probably more than what you have at the current moment, aren't even going to consider the fact that this was a terrorist attack in any way, shape, or form. I would like to take a moment to say that my thoughts and prayers, as well as the thoughts and prayers of all my friends and family, are with the family members of the flight crew and passengers aboard that plane, the family and friends of the man who was killed in his home at the time of the crash, certainly the survivors, his wife and daughter, who will more than likely be scarred by this incident for the rest of their natural lives, and then take a minute to think about the friends and neighbors of a close-knit community that Clarence and Clarence Center is. I mean, that little area down there is just very tight-knit. Everybody knows everybody there, and let's take a minute to think about how they're feeling and respect the memories of those who have lost loved ones in this incident and the victims of this terrible, terrible tragedy. Before we get into deciding what exactly happened, let the NTSB do their job, let the FBI do their job and investigate this matter. And I'm sure in time, although it seems like it's going to be a lengthy process because there's not much of the plane left to really determine what happened. So it's going to have to be left up to the black box to give us a clue as to what happened. But really, if all you've got is government conspiracy theories and paranoia of the terrorists coming to get us one at a time or 50 at a time, whatever the case may be. I think it's time that you stopped trying to be a part of the problem and get in on being a part of the solution by actually reporting the facts as we have them and as we're given to them by the officials investigating this terrible loss of life. Because the fact of the matter is, the truth is what we're ultimately looking for. Hopefully some prevention can come out of it, although there's not much you can do. I mean, Western New York, we get ice and snow, and if that was the cause of the crash, not much you can do about the weather. Mechanical failure, machines break. We all know this. Otherwise, we wouldn't need garages to repair our vehicles. We wouldn't need computer service centers to repair our wonderful machines when they decide to tank on us. So let's be realistic here, and let's just focus on what's really happening here. A tragedy, an accident, something that wasn't planned, something that wasn't even anything more than it really is. Just a terrible tragedy. And let's drop a minute to say good job to the men and women of the volunteer fire departments who responded and kept that from spreading to other houses and kept loss of life to the minimum of the people on the plane and the unfortunate individual who lost his life inside of his own home. And come to think of it, the odds of that, I wouldn't even want to begin to think of what the odds are of being killed in a plane crash while you're at home and not on the plane. And I'm not trying to be funny either. That's just something that has been rolling through my mind over the last couple of hours. We take life for granted, and when things like this happen, it kind of helps you put things in perspective. So, here's a tip. Conspiracy theorists, shut up. Terror fear mongers, shut up. And let the investigators do their job and come up with a report full of facts and not just grasping at straw and, sensationalizing the whole thing into something more than it really is. I hope this has given room to some heated debate, and let's just respect the wishes and the grieving process that the family and friends of those involved will go through, and hopefully we'll all be able to move on from this and learn something from it, hopefully. And my best to all of you, and have a good day.